Greetings and welcome back to Monster Legends. Alright, it's Saturday and we have a bunch of things to talk about. Obviously, the big one is the marathon, so let's just get that out of the way. So this is the Cobra Punch Marathon. Alright, so the idea here is that your team, and this is for teams by the way, your team has to complete these tasks over here on the right in order to advance your little team's avatar here and complete laps. The number of laps that you complete will determine what rewards you get. Now you have to complete all three of the tasks. If you complete two of them, the last one's going to be sitting there. It's not going to replace the ones that you actually completed. You have to do all three in order to get a new set of tasks. Anyway, so in terms of what rewards you get, well, let's talk about this right here. All right, so this is the lap rewards. So let's go down. Now, first off, if your team doesn't complete 4 laps, you don't get anything. You can see that right there. Minimum laps to qualify. So, okay, and it just skipped all the way to the top again. Why would it auto-refresh this? It's not like it's updating or anything, right? All right, if you get to 4 laps and you don't get to 8 laps, then you're going to get this fellow. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that he used to be really good. He hasn't changed. The world's changed around him. He's got a group attack that does, I believe that's the 2 rounds of possession if he lands it. Kind of interesting. The thing is that he is, of course, an epic. So, yeah, that's kind of the way that is. All right, now, if you get to 8 laps but do not get to 10, then you get Egg Eater. Egg Eater is magic control. Egg Eater has possession. It's got like a single target stun, I believe. It's got a single target poison. It's also got a really nice group attack that does blinding and burning and such. Pretty good if you don't have a magic control individual. Pretty good indeed. A little bit on the older side, though. I'm sorry I have to call you out on your age there. And of course, if you get to lap 10, then you get Nor, right? This, of course, is a mythic. It's nature, and it's an extra turner attacker, right? So now, how far you get past that point determines how strong the Nor is. As you can see, the stars start coming out. And actually, the stars start coming out at level 15. Pardon me, lap 15. I think that's actually a change. I don't remember that happening. I seem to remember that a ranked up mythic only started at lap 20. So I do think that that is a change. Anyway, if you continue along, you get lots of laps, you get more stars, more rank ups, until you get at the top here. You can see the winner. I shouldn't say the winner. If you get to 200 laps, then you get a 5-star version here. And of course, you get a little costume as well, Nor's Shadow. And a little gift package here with some more stuff in it. Right, okay, and in terms of individual rewards, in terms of your team, right? Now, the best individual on your team is actually going to get 100 cells of Nor. Now, that's kind of interesting because what's happened with our team is that we didn't actually get the individual at the center, but the best performer did because it's 100 cells. You can put the creature together that way. So someone is probably going to get it. I think the team does have to qualify, though, in order for this to happen. I'm not sure about that. Please correct me if I'm mistaken. So if you do qualify, someone on your team is actually going to get it. That's what I'm saying. So that's something. And in terms of the 60 and 40, remember, you cannot trade the cells. And in order to get the creature, you have to have 100 of the cells. You can't pad it with Ember like you can do with Elementium and a legendary. You actually have to have 100 cells. And of course, there's position rewards. Now, position rewards are basically based on how your team did in your little group of 20. See, if you look at the tab over here, you say teams, right? So you can see of our little group of 20 teams all the way down here, you know, we're way down. Actually, we're not that far down, are we? Okay, we're number 12 at the moment. Anyway, the individuals at the top will get special rewards, as you can see, extra cells. When you're talking about a mythic, that's probably the best thing you can do. And if you get down here, you get more booby prizes. And a little extra Ember down there. But let's face it, 5 Ember, if you do the 3rd dungeon, you get 15, so it's not really very useful, right? let's just say that's kind of done. This is going to go on for another 5 days, 11 hours and 30 minutes at the time of recording. And hopefully, I mean, we picked up the last time and we ended up getting the individual, but that's just, unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to happen this time. All right, so that, of course, is the marathon. Definitely you want to get that one. We talked about Noor in the last episode. She's definitely very good, definitely somebody you want to get. Now, somebody we also talked about in the last episode is, his challenge is now open. Of course, this is Josh Dubb. Unfortunately, we are running this at the same time of a marathon, and it's actually a little strange. I don't know if this is going to work out better or worse. Instead of doing the typical, like, 20 cells, 30 cells, and then 50 cells, they're just throwing the first 100 out in the first group. Now, that number, I believe, was like 16 or 1700 when I started here. So I don't know in a 2.5 days remaining if I'm going to be able to get that down to a reasonable range. Okay, and of course we have the Dr. Watts path that's opened up. This is opened up yesterday, I believe, and it's still going there today. We have a little bit of a discount left, a little bit. Actually, can I advance him right there? Yeah, actually, do I have time? It doesn't really matter because I'm not going to get very far anyway. I'm not going to get to the 20, but I don't need to get to the 20. I actually already have enough cells of him that I can rank him up. It's just that I don't want to do that while the race is going on, because otherwise any rank ups you're going to do are going to cost gems. So he's going to have to wait until the race is over or until the race is over, if you know what I mean. So that's going to be, if you had him, remember, you had to actually have him in order to see this. So hopefully you got a bunch of extra cells. They were giving them to us for the dailies for a while there. So I had like 160 just for that, because we had like 16 days of that. And of course, what they're doing now, let's just pop over here for a moment. They're actually giving us some Josh Dubb ones. Right? That's only 5, but I mean, it's kind of a throw in there. But we're also getting the little birthday chests here. And I think I got about 7 of them, and we'll see what we can get out of that. So, of course, you have to complete all of your dailies for these. But, yeah, I mean, if you get into a habit of doing it, whenever they're offering a cool reward, then, yeah, it's not really that hard. You get into a pattern of it. All right, and, of course, let's not forget this. Yeah, we have a 72-hour challenge. I think Joppers is the best one there. Yeah, I do. I actually did this one, and I was terrified that I was actually going to get him. But I did end up getting the 8 gem. So that's where I ended it right there. The last time I did this, I was like, okay, come on, no Legion. Boom, I got the 8 gem, and I said, I'm done. That's it. Yeah, choices. These choices are terrible. I mean, if you want to do it, that's fine. I mean, it's a matter of, like, if you're doing multiplayer fights anyway, well, then, you're just going to get free stuff. That's what it comes down to, right? But me, I just, with this selection, I just want the gems. All right, and of course, there is something else big that we need to talk about. Okay, so we have a new Legends Pass going on here, right? So there's 2 individuals, Adana being one of them. So why don't we just talk about them individually and get a feel for them? We'll start with Adana. Okay, as I mentioned, this is on the golden path. So this is an individual, premium, shall we just say? We'll just say premium. All right, so this is a support individual, right? This is a support individual with all kinds of interesting stuff. Let's just take a look. All right, we'll look at the stats. Life, 50,000, it's not really that much, but, support people really usually don't take hits very well. That's not what they do. Power's not horrible, but it's not great. But then again, we're not talking about a damage dealer, even though there is some damage scattered in there, basically in the form of torture effects. All right, speed. Speed is very good. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about here. Support skills, doing good things for your team, doing bad things to the other team as quickly as possible, right? So that's kind of good. All right, let's look at the evolving trait. At rank 0, Adana is immune to freeze. That's kind of useful. And then at rank 1, area super attuned. Okay, so taking care of the whole group there with some attuning. Super attuning, I should say. That's not so bad. At rank 3, there's a status cast for an area double stamina. That could be very useful for some individuals. But you know what? For all mythics, that's just kind of useful because a lot of their skills are rather costly, as we have seen. So getting an automatic start with double stamina, that's pretty good. That's good support right there. All right, so let's go down and start looking at the skills, of course. All right, Tier 1, Stonefish Harden. Removes all negative status effects from one ally, applies immunity control from one ally. All right, but I mean, that's kind of useful, but I'm like, those things that just go after one individual, I don't know about those. You know, the thing about it is we do have some good stuff in here. I don't think I keep that one. Let's move on. Tears in the Sea. Applies stamina regeneration to all allies, gives 30% of stamina to allies. Okay, so that's good support right there. You know, you're going to give them 30% stamina and then give them stamina regeneration. You wouldn't want to start a fight with that, but definitely like round 2, round 3, something like that, that could be very useful, especially when it's used with something that's coming a little later. All right, let's move on to Tier 2. Muraena Bite, I think that's the way you say it. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy, disables trait on one enemy, applies stamina leak to one enemy. Okay, so that can be very useful, especially if the trait is very annoying, you know. You can actually get rid of somebody's taunt with that, you know, if they have it in their trait, like an armor claw or something like that. And that way, if you want to use a single target attack against one individual and just disable it, there's also some really annoying traits. All right, so let's move on. Sailfish Splatter. Removes positive status effects from one enemy, deals low water damage to one enemy, gives one extra turn to itself. All right, so the damage is just kind of a throw in there. You're going to remove positive status effects from one enemy, right? So if they have like maybe a Mega Taunt, or maybe they have a shield that was put on with a skill and not a relic, if they have maybe an evade, you can just take it off and do a little bit of damage. More or less you're setting it up for your own team members, maybe for yourself too, because remember, you're going to get an extra turn, so you might be able to do something really bad to what they, just happened there. For instance, if somebody is evading, then you could just do this and then maybe go back and hit them with that one previous there that disables the trait and puts a standalone league on him. You know, that kind of thing. All right, so let's move on to Tier 3 and we get to the real meaty stuff here, right? Fresh Drowning. Removes positive status effects from all enemies, deals low water damage to all enemies, applies drown to all enemies. This is what I meant by the damage. So drowning, of course, is a torture effect. It's a pretty good one. So the big thing here is you're taking positive status effects from everybody. You're going to do a bit of damage to them. Not really, it's only 20 damage, but then again, that's not what she does. She's not a damage dealer, right? And give them drown. So they're going to be getting damage over time with the torture effect. So kind of useful skill right there. And then we have Water Swirl. Deals low special damage to all enemies, removes 50% of stamina from all enemies, gives 50% of stamina to your allies. So you're going to take half of their stamina away, 50%, and if they only have 50%, which means you're zeroing them out, that's like of your entire stamina. Important to remember. And you're going to fill your own team with 50% stamina. So if they have 50% to begin with, they're going to get filled. It's like that. That can be very, very useful. There are some creatures out of their trait that will take 50% of stamina away. I'm thinking, of course, of Wang Zhou. And having the ability to actually take 50% more with the skill would leave them with nothing, of course, which is kind of what you want to do with a good support individual. But even if you don't have those circumstances, if you were to use that in round 2 or round 3, you might be blanking them out. So very, very useful spell, especially considering you're filling your own team again. So that is definitely a really useful skill. Good support there. So you tag that one along with the one in Tier 1 with the stamina regeneration. The one that gives your team stamina and gives them stamina regeneration. Very, very good stamina control stuff here. Very good stuff. And of course, you could always use these other ones to mess around with the other team. Give them drown, take the positive status effects off, disable one of them's trait, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of good skills here. You could put together a really interesting support person who goes very, very fast. So that's Andana, and Andana is actually, remember, on the golden path. So that's kind of premium. So if we go on the free path, way over here. Okay, no, that one. It's a pretty picture there of somebody. All right, way over here. Oh, there we go. All right, so we have Muniz. Who's Muniz? Let's find out. Muniz is a light control individual who has all kinds of good skills, a lot of stunning going on. He got some possession and some support stuff. So let's take a look at Muniz. All right, stats. All right, actually kind of interesting. Much higher health than the previous individual. You know, the supporty person. It's kind of interesting. A lot of the control individuals in the mythic range seem to have really good health. This one is definitely not an exception. So we have over 60,000 health at level 100, which is pretty darn good, really. I mean, it's getting near the top of what we've seen. I mean, I think the highest I've seen is like 62, 63, you know, without any extra stuff thrown in. So definitely kind of meaty. Power, 5,100. Okay, that's just terrible, but that's not what this monster is all about now, is it? Speed, 4862. Really good. Very similar to the previous individual. But the thing about it is, of course, this is a control individual, so you're going to lean heavily on speed because the entire purpose is to get out in front of the other team and do bad things to them before their team can do bad things to you. So that's speed. Very important in a control individual. Always remember that. Don't put life on a control individual. No, life. Speed. Think speed. All right, so let's look at the evolving trait. At rank 1, Muniz is hardened. That's pretty good. 20% extra chance to resist negative status effects. Very useful indeed. At rank 1, Muniz gets true vision. Now, for a control individual, this is good. And of course, that's not a status cast. That's in the trait. So, I mean, basically, it's going to be very hard for you to miss. So you're going to get those effects down too. Very, very good trait there. Very good, especially for a control individual. All right, at rank 3, you're going to gain a status cast for a self-possession immunity. All right, so thing about it is that's a good throw in there. You get Muniz up to rank 3, and it's going to begin, you know, not being able to be possessed. Kind of a good thing right there. All right, of course, if your Muniz is faster than their controller on the other side, it's not going to matter anyway because you're going to get there first because you're not going to miss because you got true vision, right? All right, so let's start looking at the skills. Tier 1, Hazing from the Moon. Applies light weakness to all enemies, applies dark hater to all allies. Okay, that's kind of a specific situation there. Now, light weakness, what if Muniz is the only light creature? You know, then, you know, basically you're only enhancing Muniz's damage, and we've already seen Muniz has a very low power, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of questionable right there. Now, Dark Hater, if there's a heavy amount of darkness creatures on the other side, then that could be useful, but it's kind of specialized. You know, unless the situation was specific, I don't think I would take that one. All right, let's move on. Chosen from among others. Gives photophobic shield to one ally and extra turn to itself. Okay, that's not bad for support. I do believe that skill means that they can only be hit by light damage. So if there's no light creature on the other side, it means, you know, nothing's going to hit. If somebody is actually taunting and picking up attack from that can actually be very useful. But it also gives an extra turn to Muniz, of course. So as long as there's no anticipation individuals involved, that can be very good, reducing the cooldowns on the skill that Muniz has already used. All right, so let's move down to Tier 2. Calling a new moon. Removes all negative status effects from all allies. Applies possession to itself. That's fine if you get it to rank 3 and it's early in the fight. I'm not really sure why else I would use that. If I'm rank 3 and the status cast is in place, then yeah, you can use that one. Otherwise, no thank you. Nope, no way. Not using that one. That one's for rank 3 and higher at the beginning of the fights. All right, so let's move on. Sleep under the moonlight. Deals heavy light damage to one enemy, applies possession and blind to one enemy. All right, so, you know, you're going to possess them and blind them. You know, if they're resistant to one or the other, then they're going to get the other one, hopefully, right? So, I mean, that's good. That's control. That's what he does. I'm not really sure why that's heavy light damage because, you know, Muniz isn't really going to do a lot of damage because of the low power. That could have been moderate or light because, let's face it, that's all about the effects there, the poisoning and the blinding, right? All right, let's move down to Tier 3. Carlos said halt. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy, applies mega stun to one enemy. All right, so that's good right there. That guy's going to be out for 2 rounds unless it's resisted or they're immune to stun. Remember, if they're immune to stun, they're immune to mega stun too. But if it lands, that individual is out for 2 rounds. So that's pretty good control right there. And finally, Shatter the Lantern. Applies stun and sunburn to all enemies. All right, and that one has only got a 2-round cooldown there too, so that's actually kind of useful, especially considering there's an extra turn command up here. So this is going to attempt to stun and also give them the torture effect of sunburn. So that is actually kind of useful indeed. There's the crux of the control right there. So we got a lot of good control stuff here. We got this last skill here, Shatter the Lantern, which is going to attempt to do a group stun and just throw in sunburn for extra damage there, which is kind of good. And then, of course, we have Carlos's Halt here, single target mega stun. Although it is important to remember, if you stun them with the first attack, they're going to be immune to stun effects for 1 turn. So you might actually want to go with the single target possession at that point with the blindness thrown in. And then, if you really do have a problem, you can go back and do the mega stun. Although, remember, the immunity to stun effects, if you land it, is actually a positive status effect. So somebody maybe like Odana could remove that, and then you can come back and use the mega stun in the next round. So, if you get the teamwork thing going here. But there's a lot of really interesting things here. And of course, this one is going to be available to all of us on the free path. So that is Moon Haze. Now you notice the egg on the free path is at 1,620 points. Well, the way you get points is you do the challenges. Now, these 3 pop up like every day here, so you can, they're not a lot, but if you do them every day, that's an extra 30 every day. And they're pretty easy to do, just multiplayer wins, user stamina, collect some gold, pretty easy to do. And then they have these. A lot of these are very kind of easy to do. I mean, look at this. You can get 100 points by winning 3 multiplayer battles with someone from the superheroes book. So, I mean, if you got a lot of things, then you're going to be able to do that no problem. A lot of the multiplayer ones they just happen. And look at this one. Obtain cells from the monster lab. I mean, you could buy like the cheap ones for gold. No problem at all, right? Now, that one there is a little bit crafting 2 7s. I got one of them. The other one is just eluding me very badly there. And you're basically feeding up. I need 1 more level feed up for that one. So, the ones that I don't usually do are the breeding ones, because usually my breedery and my hatchery are kind of busy all the time. So, and basically I end up getting to 2,000 all the way over, and I never really have to mess with that. Some people will get it quicker, but you'll get them in the end. And by the way, I didn't say anything about it. I might as well follow up on the El Colossal breeding event. So my final stuff is right here, actually. So I got Soul Hugger, and the reason I wanted Soul Hugger, well, I'm just going to show you. And there's something else to talk about. We're just going to ignore it for a moment. Let's go. There's the reason that I wanted Soul Hugger. That's the reason I wanted Soul Hugger, right there. So I can get a gold artifact right there. And the thing is, the other guys are all ranked up, I believe. So if I blow some Elementium or Dark Cells to rank them up again, well, then I'll get another one, right? 2 of them. I believe it's 2 you get the next time. Yeah, you get 2 the next time, right? So that's the thing. That's the only reason I really did him. Some people like him, some people don't like him. The other 2, and you couldn't see them because they were circles, are actually Pierceeds. So I am going to rank Angelina up to 110 when I can do that. And basically, that's it for me. See, I wasn't going to go too crazy, because here's the thing. Anything you got at the El Colossal breeding event, no matter what rank you get it up to, a year from now is going to be meaningless. Remember, they want mythics. They're going to get mythics. Where are your epics now? They're going to be where your legendaries are going to be a year from now. Just try to keep that in mind. Anyway, I think that's about it, except I did want to do some opening here. I do have like relic stuff, and I do have these gold ones, but you know what? I'm going to wait until I got that other gold one. What I do want to do is I want to open up these birthday chests, because supposedly they have a lot of stuff in them. So I want to open them up and see what kind of stuff we get from them, right? So let's just see. I got 7 of them. Let's do this. Ooh, okay. Oh, you got, okay, I got, wow, that was amazing. Let's open the next one. I can't wait to see what's in it. Ooh, amazing. It's a good thing I didn't open up all my relic chests because I'm going to have a whole bunch of new ones, right? Wow, is it going to be all bronze? Am I halfway? I'm like not halfway through yet. This is kind of halfway, right? Wow. I mean, at least throw food in once. You know? It's not that I want food, it just looks embarrassing right now, you know? Remember to grind these chests out, 'cause they're amazing! Last one. Will it be 7 bronze chests? Actually, technically 14, but... Ooh. I take it back. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I'm going to open that one. Because I know I'm going to get a rank 10 from that. There's no way I'm just going to get a 3. It'll never happen. I'll never just get a 3. I got a 4. Alright, so like I said, I do have the opportunity for more gold, so I'm going to wait before opening these guys up. Alright, and I think that's about it. We had war yesterday. We actually lost that one. They were a tough team. It was kind of close. You know, I think we lost by like 30 or 35 or something like that. But, yeah, they were just too much for us. They had some really strong teams up front that were very difficult to penetrate. So we're working on another one right now, but that is not something we're doing now. All right, so let's do PvP. Because I had some teams. I did have a little bit of struggle finding some team combinations, and I'm hoping, based on what I just saw a second ago, we're not going to have too much trouble. Yike. All right, I guess we're going to have to see if we can get teams. All right, so let's begin. Our first team today was suggested by The Beast. So let's get going here. Let's go over to Earth, and we're going down for Cobra. Then we're going over to Nature, and we don't have to go as low for him anymore because he's right here. We have Flynn, and finally, I do believe she's in Magic, isn't she? I mean, she's got purple on, so it must be Magic, right? Where is she? There she is. Gwen. Alright, so obviously she's playing Denial today. It's going to be very difficult to get a hand on Flynn there, isn't it? Because he's going to be dodging. Yeah, I mean, none of these teams would really stand much of a chance here. I mean, there's no Denial up the middle. I mean, I guess you got him. He's a little bit Blob, but Blob isn't that dangerous. Let's see if we can get something a little bit tougher here, because we have some Okay, well, I mean, this is a little bit better. It's a little bit better. I mean, I would go with the one with the Temerian over here, except let's face it, he doesn't have a lot of support behind him. I'm going to try one more time and hope that this was not a terrible mistake. All right, well, that's a little bit better. I'm thinking we're going up the middle here because I don't... over here on the left, you know, they're all 105, but there's no Denial. They're just going to stand there and die. So maybe this... Sunblast has got some stuff going for him. All right, let's just see. Or maybe somebody put life on him. Okay, somebody put life on him. Okay, activate all cooldowns, apply poison! Well, she's immune to poison, but she's not immune to cooldown activation. All right, let's see. Yeah, we'll just have a fun night, guys. Have some burning. Okay, you're resisting too much. Could you stop that, please? All right, let's see what we got. Well, you know, she's just going to go into Mega Taunt mode. Oh, and hit you in the head? There we go. All right, what are you going to do? You're going to charge. All right. Your Zyla didn't have the 0? I mean, I activated her cooldowns, but she had the 0, so I guess she didn't have the 0. By the 0, I mean the 0 cooldown attack. So, yeah, I mean, why even have Zyla if you're not going to use that? Alright, so let's see. What do we have here? Applies bleed to one enemy, drown and nightmares to all enemies. Okay, why don't we do that? There we go. There's some fun stuff. And while we're talking about fun, have some fun dungeons. Because dungeons are fun. Alright, let's see. Now what do you got? Curse of the Ancestors. Activate cooldowns on 1. Applies cool... Well, let's just do you in the front and everybody gets cursed. Well, you didn't get cursed in the front, so... Alright, let's see. 50% chance of applying stun. Damage allies. Hold on a second. Stun to all allies. I like that one better. And you're dead. And you're dead. And you're dying. Okay, we'll just end this. Don't put life on Sunblast. Unless, of course, he's not primary denial. Remember, your primary control individual has to be as fast as you can do it. You don't put strength, you don't put support stuff, you don't put life, you don't put anything but speed. If it's in your team, and remember, somebody set that up as their defense team, and obviously it wasn't like, maybe they meant to lose with that team, I don't know. They could be a really high-level individual and just put a terrible team out. After all, my team on defense looks like that. So, I mean, I'm no one to speak about that, right? But, I mean, if it's a serious team, as much speed as you possibly can put on your control individual, because you want them to go first. See, my Golgui went first, so they were all doomed. All right, so that's also the reason you don't put all damage dealers in a team, if that person knows what I'm talking about. All right, so let's move on to our next team. Our second team today was suggested by King Horn. And King Horn wanted to see, starting over in Magic, and this is going to be Elmo, because look at him. He looks like Elmo. It's like a twin lost at birth. All right, and next we're going over to Light, and this is going to be, he's down there somewhere. There he is, Simba. And finally, someone we actually talked about earlier, and I'm afraid this individual is playing Denial today. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just that I don't have my best speed on Wormy. All right, like I said, Wormy actually, or I should say Egg Eater, just generally Egg Eater. Egg Eater has some really good stuff. If you don't have a controller, definitely somebody you can use. Okay, it's a little bit more challenging now because we are seeing some interesting stuff happening here. So let me see, what do we got here? We got Wormy. Well, if I do the team on the right, the Isofex, I believe, is an abomination and immune to... actually, 2 of them are immune to possession. So that would be rather tricky. Elmo's not my problem. Wormy, I forget what Wormy's immune to, but I don't think it's possession. All right, up the middle, one of these 3 teams is fine. We're just going to pick which one. All right, team on the left is a little bit scary. They're all 100, but there is a Kane. And there's a Miserus who is really annoying, right? Really annoying. He's like the Undertaker on steroids in terms of making your team very hard to kill. And you got Morgs, who's also kind of annoying. Up the middle might be the best kind of team, I suppose. They're all very good. I think that we kind of have to go with the team on the... Oh, man. The thing is, they both of them have... How much trust do I have in Elmo to do this? All right, I'm going to do the team on the right, even though it's probably a mistake. Mostly because it is challenging, but of course they put life on their speed individuals. Okay. Oh, you're going first. Did they all get the mat? Yeah, you know what? This is really going to hurt. Double damage, precision, and extra turn on you. So, how hurt are they? Pretty darn hurt. Alright, let's see. Alright, so this, of course, is the possession one, right? It's not going to work on the... Oh, it's going to kill the Isofex. Okay, just to go through it here, this is the one that I use. I believe there's another one that does stuns, but I like the poison there. 0 cooldown, very useful. Multi-effect eggs, low damage, but blinding and burning, kind of useful. And if you really want to hurt one individual, heavy magic damage and nightmares. So that could be very useful. In this case, this is going to kill the Isofex anyway, so... And what do we got? Over 9,000 balloons. I thought that was going to be a better fight. I guess I probably should have picked the one with the mythic, right? I figured since there were two of them who were immune to possession, it might be a better fight, but unfortunately they didn't have any speed at all. Yeah, life on a Nishan's pet. Okay, alright, so let's continue. Our third team today was suggested by Vesic. And Vesic wanted to see, let's see, this seemed to be the crux of the team, and there were replacements, so I'm able to do this one, by the way. In other words, there were suggestions for different ones, but this was the, I guess, the key member of the team, and of course that's Elvira. All right, next, there was a replacement one for this one, but I'm going with Nova. With Elvira is kind of a problem there, you know. You really want, like, kind of slow people behind Elvira, otherwise she doesn't really help you. And finally, I forget who, oh, you know what, the original one for this was Dr. Watts, but Dr. Watts for me is still level 60. By the way, that's probably going to change tomorrow. I'll talk about that a little bit more depth later. All right, and Kane. All right, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's actually faster than Elvira too. All right, do we have something that can match this? All right, so why don't I do this team over here on the right? That might be the toughest thing. I mean, we do have a 110, Tanny over here, so that might be going first. All right, you know what? Because otherwise I may be looking for something and not find anything as good. Okay, let's go. I have a feeling they're going to die. Yep, they're going to die. All right, and we're evading, so let's start with cooldown activation and sunburn. Okay, what did you just do? Oh, weakness, the weakness ones. Gotcha, gotcha. Oh, by the way, did you notice that he's only showing one weakness there, even though he's got 3 on? It seems that the debuffs on the bottom don't go very far anymore. You know, I don't know if you've noticed that. I've gotten confused by that in fights. Is it just they don't seem to show all of them, before cutting them off. They don't go even halfway over. At least that's what I've seen. They've been doing a lot of updates, and the client on my Apple device is very unstable. All right, let's see. Let's start doing some killing here. Yeah, you first. Yeah, definitely you first, because no resurrections, right? All right, so let's go with a little bit on you. And yes, I do want to finish you. Okay, she's great support, but if she... How did you do that? You have... Okay, you have Hero's Essence. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. In that case, you work for me. All right, let's see. Repent Sinner. Did I just hit them all? Actually, why don't we go with... What are they looking for? We're not hurt, are we? No, we're not. I'm thinking, words won't save you. Boom. And then protection. Okay, that's not going to do anything. Here, have some guard down. And, okay, he needs to charge to get his cooldowns back. He needs to charge. Okay, and boom on the head. And some cooldown activation. And then Kane just ends this. Okay, and right there, 100 points. All right, let's go. All right, so we got one more team, so let's get in there and take care of it. Our fourth and final team for today was suggested by Rinicle. And Rinicle wanted to see, going over to nature, that's going to be Leafy. Then somebody we just saw on the other side, over in light, and that's going to be Mira. And finally, over in magic, we have... No, not you. Where is he? Jello, who has become Mini-Me. Alright, let's see. We're gonna, for this team, we're really gonna need some kind of a good opponent here. And I'm not really seeing it. So hopefully something pops up in here. I mean, they got some levels over here. I mean, there's no reason not to do that. Or we can do this one over here. That's interesting. A 120. That's going to have some real stuff over there. So here's the dilemma. I think the fight on the right would be a good fight. I think the fight on the left would probably be us dead. Because, you know, we do have some good stuff here. But I don't think we could repel that. So I think the 120 is going to be like Tyrion. He's going to be just way too fast for us. He's going to get the jump on us, and there's nothing we can do about it. See, if I had a Megaton tank, I might try that one, but I don't. So I think I'm going to do this one, because I think that's insta-death. Okay, it would have been nice if... 116 and you couldn't put anything on him? Really? 110 and that's... Okay, well, you know what? Oh, well. I mean, you don't... Since you can't see what they have, there's nothing you can do about it, right? All right, activate cooldown. Obviously, it's not going to work on him in the front, but... All right, let's see. I think I might as well just do the... Where is it? I'm going to do the what's the name of it here? The evasion, since they're all going to attack right now. All right, I'm going to hit you, and then we all get evasion. Okay, that worked out good. So, stunning for you two. Okay. Yeah, why don't we do that? Okay. See, that's the way you get rid of a Shade Moon. You kill all his friends. Yeah, why not? Oh, that actually got through, didn't it? How did those get through? Oh, right. Pierce. I was wondering, how did that get through? I forgot. She's got Pierce. So that's how the torture effects got through. Right, okay. Let's see. Well, you don't have that, so we're just going to let him die. Okay, let's see. You fail. Oh, she can... She still got it. Yeah, so she's got it in her trait, so she can go after him again. Remove positive status effects. Yeah, from you. Okay, that was mean. Don't do that to her. Let's see, Chance of the Swamp. Actually, hold a minute. Activate cooldowns on one enemy! And then stun. And then boom in the head. Okay, and then of course we'll just go... Oh, you... Actually, that just kills you anyway, so... Where is it? Chance... Yeah, no, this one will just kill him anyway. And another challenge. Yeah, those points will just show up. Okay, yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to use any of those. I may try to get some gems from the other one. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. So we have the Cobra Punch Marathon. Help your team. Try to do the laps. Try to first get Nor, and then as powerful a Nor as you can possibly get. And then, of course, we have the Josh Dub Challenge. If you can actually work on that, maybe get it down low enough, the gem total, maybe you can get that one. The Dr. Watts Path is probably going to be ending, I guess, maybe tomorrow morning or something like that. Anyway, if you have Dr. Watts, it was an opportunity to get some more cells. And then the 72-hour challenge, yeah, I mean, I got some extra gems from that, and I may try for some more in another one there, right? And like I said earlier about Dr. Watts, so tomorrow, at the moment, tentatively, I am planning on doing a mythic testing video. It's going to be Dr. Watts, it's going to be Quetzalcoatl, and it's going to be Ilion. The reason I waited on that and Nightingale is going to be waiting is because, you know, because of him sitting up here, right? So that's where Axte is right now. And once I have one of these fellows out of here, I'm going to move them in. It looks like Soul Huggers up first. But I wanted to make sure we didn't have two control in one testing, right? So we just kind of do Ilion tomorrow, and then we're going to do whoever else I'm going to get. I already have two of them. I'm going to have Nightingale, Aztec. I don't know who's going to be the next. It may be Josh Dub, or it may end up being Roar. It really depends on how things go, right? Anyway, I'm planning to do that tomorrow. Hopefully that plan does not fall through. Anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games, because games are fun. See you.